Hello and welcome to This Week in Star Wars, our Sunday coverage of Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. This is Matt Fox. Today we're going to give you an interview with the Hasbro design team. It runs about 10 minutes and we talk about all aspects of Star Wars action figures, 6 and 3 3/4 inch and the 18 million different lines they have and where they're going to go. A couple interesting points and a lot of corporate speak, but we think it's worthwhile, so we hope you enjoy. We'll be back tomorrow with our final day of celebration coverage, and we'll have a wrap-up episode as well. So stay tuned and enjoy our talk with the Hasbro design team. So, could you introduce yourselves just briefly?
Absolutely. My name is Patrick Schneider. I'm the Senior Brand Manager for our fan business.
And I'm Sam Smith, Design Manager for the fan business.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming out to Celebration. It's always great to see you here.
Absolutely.
Just a few questions about the line. Since the HasLab project was announced last year, the barge, there's been a whole lot of thematic, Jabba-related materials coming out. Was that a conscious decision going into the HasLab project, or did it just sort of come about organically?
It kind of came about organically after the project launched.
Exactly. Had it not been a success, I don't know that it necessarily would have swayed the line as much as it did, but, it just brought so much love and, in terms of how much people wanted these items, and, let us start to trickle into some other things in terms of, the character multi-packs and some other characters to bring back to the vintage collection, but also just in terms of the updated smaller barge to really be that beautiful companion piece to it and, have it perfectly scaled to the katana, as well as, even Jabba's palace. I think there's so many things there that it was just, all right, well, maybe we try a little playset and stuff like that. So, I think the barge is definitely, it showed that the passion was there, and ultimately that, people were ready for it.
We know that fans like kind of themes within the line, so I think the barge gave us a great theme to kind of build our spring line around.
Right. And, sort of following on that, I know one of the things that a lot of fans liked, say, 10 years ago with the line was that you'd get a wave of figures from a specific movie, even if it wasn't the current movie. You'd get a Empire Strikes Back wave of figures. Is that something you're considering going back to, or would consider?
Yeah, so I think there's a balance there, because it's interesting, we've heard from some fans that they like kind of, it's sprinkled throughout so they have something to look forward to. We've heard from other fans that they like kind of the themed waves. In talking with fans and reading online, it seems like kind of the sweet spot and where we've tried to go, like our 7-1 Wave of Black series, for example, has, Dr. Aphra and her 2 comic book droids, it has Ezra and Chopper, and then it has Obi-Wan completing the prequel characters that we did here in the spring. So kind of a balance between completely random and then entire themed waves. Because we've gotten fans telling us hey, I love, Rebels, for example. If you put out all those characters at one time, I just don't have the money to drop at that one moment in time. So we try to find the balance.
Yeah, totally.
You look at the line now, and you've got Black Series 6-inch, you've got the Archive Black Series, you've got Galaxies of Adventure, you got Resistance, Vintage Collection, and then the regular 5-point of articulation line.
Retro, hyperreal.
Right, what is there a main line? I mean, is there something that you consider to be the main focus of the Star Wars product universe, or?
I think they all have a purpose, right? We know we have fans of all stripes. We have, kids who are just picking up their first lightsaber. We have, adult fans who have been in it for 42 years and love that 3 3/4 inch scale because of the history. We have fans of the Black Series who love the detail that we're able to do there. So I think we try to ensure that each of our lines kind of has a specific target and a specific fan that they're appealing to. But we love them all. We focus on them all, and we think that they all have a purpose.
Okay. Another thing that used to happen in the past was, I know we're still doing the fan votes every now and then, and that's great. Mail-aways. Any possibility we'll get another mail-away offer sometime, or is that just out of the business plan these days?
I don't know that it's necessarily out of the business plan. I just don't know. Maybe it's just in terms of today's world where it might have shifted. I think definitely in terms of being able to potentially use like a format like Hasbro Pulse is sort of like that direct to consumer is sort of where the modern era of the mail away business is.
Okay.
And so, as we start to do more items there and, really just opening up availability to giving sort of like that one central hub to buy through Hasbro directly, kind of starts to work towards that. But.
We've got a lot of, obviously we got episode 9 coming up at the end of the year.
Wait, what? Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
Best Star Wars title ever. That's amazing.
I don't look forward to 8 months of trying to figure out.
I know, right? We were literally at dinner last night. We were debating, is it one Skywalker? Is it two? Is it an idea? I don't know.
Everybody will be absolutely certain, and everybody will be wrong. But we're also going to get TV shows. We know about The Mandalorian, the casting of the show. Those are things you're going to be supporting also in the line, I assume?
Absolutely, We can't reveal any specific product, but we are excited about Episode 9. We're excited about The Mandalorian. Clone Wars coming back. You will absolutely see product behind all of those entertainments. Fallen Order, Galaxy's Edge, obviously. We're in a golden age of Star Wars content, and we're excited to activate against it all.
Right. Okay. Is the Resistance line, is there going to be more of that coming? Or are you at liberty to talk?
Nothing that we can speak to today.
Right.
Again, it's there's certainly opportunity for product, but with we certainly have as Patrick mentioned, we're in kind of a golden era of entertainment. So being able to support everything. No particular items that we can reveal, but certainly looking for the best way to do it all.
Okay. I would say with all of these entertainment properties, we get a lot of our information from fans at conventions and online. So tell your readers if they're here at Celebration, let us know what they want to see, and we'll absolutely take that into account.
All right. The face painting technology. I think everybody's really happy with the way that's turned out. Are you planning on going back and maybe redoing some more? I mean, I know we've gotten a few reissues in the Vintage line. Is that going to continue?
So both on Vintage as well as on Black Series by way of the Archive line, it's something that we proved out in 6-inch, and we've been able to translate it down to 3 3/4. I think there's certainly an opportunity. We know that our collectors are invested in Black Series, so we don't want to be like, hey, you guys, go buy them all again. But definitely for those harder to get characters, the ones that really, could, almost be a bloom to a whole new figure because of it. For example, the Emperor. Emperor originally came out in 2014. He had a sculpted lower skirt, could never sit down. Being able to do that with 3 alternate portraits, a new soft goods skirt, all new soft goods robe, and put him on a throne was a really exciting way to, do that figure some justice.
That's a whole new figure. That's not a reissue. There's been a lot of changes in sort of the retail landscape, obviously, with the loss of Toys R Us and other places cutting back. And I've sort of noticed there seems to be an increase in the exclusives, going to some retailers and new retailers getting exclusives that weren't in on the game. Is that a conscious decision? Do you see that going on with the line, a heavier reliance on the exclusive market?
So I think as we look at our line, I don't think we've seen an increase. I think it's the same. This being said, exclusives are an important part of the business. We have great retail partners, and that's something that they want and makes sense for them, and so we're happy to give them those. And honestly, we just wouldn't be able to do some things without exclusives. Those Disney Parks, Galaxy's Edge exclusives, those items wouldn't have come into the line. So we're really grateful for that opportunity to bring Wando Anaka, DJR3X, Mountain Trooper, Commander Pyre, etc., into the Black Series line.
Even with the deluxe line that we piloted through Target, giving Moloch and the Grimorian Guard, if we didn't have a retailer to kind of lean on that, we probably wouldn't even be able to introduce the deluxe line and have Grievous. So, that's been an incredible partnership for us in terms of being able to use it as a place for the odd-shaped box. So it's
we absolutely hear the concerns about and frustrations about being able to get them, and we're always working with our retailers to improve
Well,
that,
I think that's retailer to some are much easier to get, than a regular retail release. But some places are harder, and one part of the country has good luck with certain stores. So retro line. assuming that continues, what do you think is the likelihood of getting more figures like the Tarkin, which we just, was a figure we always wanted but never had on a vintage card in the 5 POA style? Do you think that's something, if the line continues, that you'd look forward to?
So I just always, whenever we talk about retro, I have to give a shout out to Sam. Sam, actually, that was his brainchild, and it's really resonated. I think as we were talking about that line, we were like, well, it'd be great to get the classic characters out for fans who never got them, but obviously also great to do characters like Tarkin, and so we decided to do both, obviously. For the future of that line, we have nothing to announce at this point, but if it does continue, I think we'd continue to do both.
That's something
absolutely.
You'd be open
I think it's certainly, I think it was something that was always perceived from a concept standpoint of being something that could celebrate not only new collectors, but also, the continuation of the people that have been collecting it from the beginning. So It's like, what's the newness that you're bringing to me, and kind of how can I continue to build out my line with the pieces I never had? So it's certainly, about bridging sort of that connection with also having plenty of people that have sold off their collections in time. So, for them to, kind of come again, find these figures again on retail shelves is reinvigorating the collector all over.
Okay. And one more. Okay. Last, with Hasbro Pulse launching back in February, and you've got the Hasbro Pulse Premium as well for some people, that the lucky ones that ordered in the first month. What sort of, how do you envision using the premium aspect of Pulse, besides beyond the free shipping? I know here there was an opportunity to get a VIP pass for some of those members. Are you going to use that as a way to maybe get exclusives out to people or anything? Do you have any more plans for that?
I mean, nothing to announce at this time. Obviously, we're super excited about the Pulse, the relaunch there. The whole goal of that is to kind of deepen our relationship with the fan community, which is absolutely what we want. So I think that team, the Pulse team, is continuing to kind of ideate ways to build that relationship through maybe some of the things you mentioned, maybe some other things, but, absolutely want to kind of establish that as, the #1 fan destination.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Awesome.
We hope you enjoyed that interview. Thanks again for listening, and we will be back tomorrow with our final day of coverage from snowy Chicago. This is Matt Fox, and thanks for listening to This Week in Star Wars.
I wanna know you're gonna stay for the weekend, starting tonight. Let's do it right. I wanna know you're gonna stay for the weekend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I wanna know you're gonna stay for the weekend.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Stay with me for the weekend.
Honey, I really like this place. They've literally got tons of shrimp, and it's good.